Death Triangle and the Elite. It is Escalera de la Muerte, match number 7. And that was more my criticism of the last segment, is that, dude, the bell rings and it is 9:45, and it just felt as though like everything's been built towards this. I would have hoped like it did feel like the first couple of minutes here, like they were just racing here. But I mean,
it's also the style.
It is also the style as well. But I mean, I would have to imagine this was allotted a bit more time than starting at 9:45. But how about Matt and Nick Jackson sporting the Shacknosis Reeboks? Did you see these?
I did not notice the Shacknosis Reeboks. No.
So when I was like 11 years old, we went and we were able to get new shoes. Okay. And my brother bought the Shacknosis ones. And I couldn't pick the same ones as my brother. I had to get something else. So I was like, you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the Shawn Kemp shoes. And let's just say that I think my brother won. I think you would much rather attach yourself to Shaquille O'Neal than Shawn Kemp.
What did the Shawn Kemp ones look like?
Look up like Shawn Kemp 1996 Reeboks. I think they'll come up. If they're the ones that I recognize, I will identify as such.
Okay. Was it this one? These?
Just pull it up. I can't see.
Was it these?
It was the ones on the left, to the left of the white ones.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Those were the ones I had.
I don't know if either of you made any great choice with those options.
Well, anyway, there you go.
I think these are some ugly shoes.
Oh boy, look at that! You don't like these? These are classics.
You should maybe stick with the Flame.
All the pretenders went and got the pumps, but the Shacknosis, these things were.
That was me.
Were much cooler. You got the pumps, yeah. I'm just kind of jealous. My parents wouldn't buy me pumps. So Omega hits a Tope Con Hero early, missing Pac and going through a table, which is one of those spots that you beg the question, what if you had hit this Tope Con Hero? There was still a table right there. I mean, this was not going to end good no matter what. So Matt then hits Pac with a high cross, putting him through a table. Man, dude, this was intense to try and take notes for. And that's someone that has gotten used to doing these style of matches on Dynamite, but this one was another
after level. The day you had, man.
Yeah, this was the nice wind down. We see a top rope Rana by Phoenix that sends Matt onto a ladder that's draped from the bottom rope. Pac with the poison Rana onto Omega. We saw a Fear Factor spot onto Omega, and then Phoenix dives onto Nick. The Bucks return with super kicks, and Matt with the Northern Lights series, ending with Phoenix being dropped on the ladder. And Nick positions Penta on a table on the floor and puts him through with a 450 to the floor. Jesus. Matt is climbing the ladder. Phoenix holds on, and then Alex Abrahantes comes in, tipping the ladder with Matt on it, and this prompts Brandon Cutler to get his big spot of the series as he comes in and puts the cold spray into Abrahantes' eyes. And that's followed with a V-trigger to Abrahantes, who is gone. Pac slams the fingers of Omega with the hammer. So, like, this hammer was the consistency of this whole series that they used here. And nails him with a falcon arrow to the floor, and we get this ladder contraption, and you can hear the crowd at times just going like there was genuine fear of this crowd as everyone is holding their balance on this horizontal ladder, and it sees a Fear Factor to Matt on the horizontal ladder. Phoenix climbs, but Omega comes back. He hoists up Phoenix on the horizontal ladder and delivers a one-winged angel off the ladder to the mat. Pac then is on the top turnbuckle and goes for the Black Arrow, but lands on the knees of Omega. So everyone is down, and Omega has it's an open net. He can just go for the gold, and he climbs up. And when he grabs this belt, dude, this crowd is roaring, and he grabs the belt at 14 minutes and 58 seconds. And the Elite
that time is unbelievable. I mean, I know they might have not started exactly at 9:45, but like. Shit, like
this was in seconds of they got the pose on the ladder and then they were off the air. Like they had under 60 seconds to go before the show was done.
It's just amazing to me that, like, you know, this is the type of match that probably requires a whole lot of pre-planning, a lot of maybe some rehearsal. Who knows how much they might have even, you know, had a chance to do. But it's not just a match you could necessarily call in the ring, you know. So, like, the fact that they were able to get through every single one of those very carefully planned spots, yet somehow still end on the mark. of a time queue is really
there's no excuse for anyone else on these cards going over their allotted time if these guys are nailing it on a 15 minutes to try and deliver an all-time classic ladder match.
Yeah, this was unbelievable. Credit to you, John, for doing a great job of trying to recap this insanity. They crammed, it feels like, an hour's worth of action inside of 15 minutes. And it's a pace that was everything you'd want out of a trios ladder match. And that's something like you can't think of a better pairing to establish what this trios division really should be about. Like nonstop action, just like boom, 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 big spots here and there. These should be spot fest. Obviously, they're a little bit better when you take it to the next level and add a bit of story. Who knows if like there were supposed to be a bit more elements of that. To me, maybe that's what something was missing out of this that I might have wanted to see to really take it to the next level. But I mean, fuck, for 15 minutes with this amount of like creativity and action, you could not leave unsatisfied.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite match of the series?
I'm kind of biased because I was there for the first one, John, so that's still going to stand out to me the most.
There's some candidates though, like that one 2 weeks ago was outstanding. That was the Falls Count Anywhere. That was probably my number 2. I still do go to the first one. I mean, that was just unbelievable, the first match. But man, in a different era, I would be putting out like a DVD with the matches, and I would want commentary or something over each match. You could have an English one with the Elite. You could have a Spanish option with the Death Triangle and Pac involved too. I really hope they do something with this series that like kind of immortalizes it in company history, because it's like good luck ever following this best of 7 series when it comes to match quality. And I hope they build this up as something historic in the company's history.
I'd love to see like a documentary about this, like a 30 for 30 at some point, about this and just talking about
tie it into the whole comeback of the Elite, why they were gone and then coming back. Like that's how this started, their first appearance back.
Agreed. And also, the Pax injury. Kenny.
Dude worked with a broken nose for 6 of the 7 matches.
Kenny having one of the best matches of all time in Japan. Right.
On his his week off. Yeah.
It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah. Tremendous series, unbelievable series of matches. I had no issue with like going 7 and getting 2 months of these matches on television.
No, like let's remember, take us back a month or two before when they announced this. I think there was some trepidation from people wondering how they're going to stretch this thing out. Will we be sick of it? I think if they decided to go an 8th to next week, I don't think many of us would complain.
I think you've done such an amazing job that if they do this in a year, like maybe at All Out next year or something, like when they do this again, they should wait a long time. But all you have to do is announce this match, and it's going to be this legendary thing that you have created, this all-time rivalry. And more importantly, I think having the Elite win these titles, it allows them to make these main event titles, like something
which was always the plan.
Yeah.
Which was why you created a trios division in the first place. You're not doing it unless you have Kenny and the Bucks leading it.
Yeah. I feel these should be 1A and 1B with your AEW championship. Like these are the titles that you can, are main event belts in a company that has a sea of titles, but only 2 titles that I think are truly at a level that you can headline and sell pay-per-views with. Like you have the division that you have the guys to lead it.
Now we wait to see who the challengers are, who the next serious contenders are. And what do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, that is one negative in the sense that during this whole thing, you have not been building up those other trios units. Like they exist, like you have your House of Blacks, but it's also like getting them in place to be.
They're on their way. House of Black. The presentation is already so main event level that like, I mean, that's already a pay-per-view match you could promote tomorrow if you really wanted to. Elite versus House of Black. Trying to think like what other trios are. Blackpool Combat Club, of course. Eventually, whenever like they're done with sort of their individual singles challenges, and Mox has caught a ton of fish. So
give Moxley a bit of a rest before you put him into this. But yeah, there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of money to be made, like with the Elite versus blank.